Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 7 at Belmont Park on closing day Sunday is the $100,000 Pumpkin Pie Stakes. We're going 7 furlongs on the main track for fillies and mares. You can play the card with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $150 into your DRF Bets account. Play with $300. And, of course, with the Breeders' Cup right around the corner, that's a nice deal. DRF.com/bets where you go for all of the details. Let's meet the field for this year's Pumpkin Pie Stakes. We've got Shalone, who's got a lot of credentials as your 9-5 morning line favorite, getting a little bit of class relief. We've got the speedy and consistent Miss Locust Point, the 6, 7-2 on the morning line. Curious to see what the Timeform US pace projector has to say and advantage Miss Locust Point, because last time out she had to go real fast on a contested pace, and according to Timeform US, the lead is hers for the taking, and she may not have to go quick at all.
We'll see how it plays out, Dan. I mean, she's got a lot of speed. She's a fast horse, and her speed feels like it will play in this race. Don't be surprised if the 3 Philanthropic, though, isn't up there contesting this thing early.
That would help out the number 1 Honor Way. And a wet track. We're expecting a wet track at Belmont on Sunday. Would help Honor Way as well. This is a horse that has a little bit of stakes experience. Stakes placed earlier this year in her seasonal debut. Bounced around the optional claiming ranks for most of the summer, taken by Charlie Baker for 62.5 3-back, rewarded with this win against $35,000 starter allowance foes. And again, over a wet track, we turn into the stretch. On her way was always traveling very comfortably. We see her in the 3-path in the black hat. She's going to go after this pace setter right now. And the margin of victory is only a length and 3/4, but you get the feeling she won this race very easily.
She did. I think the same could be said of her win back in early June. It doesn't look like she won that easily, but she really did. And it's worth noting her race first off the claim for Charlie Baker. She didn't run as poorly as it looks there, Dan. She was 3 or 4 wide on a day where the rail was very strong. So she had an excuse that day. I'm a big fan of hers, and she is not out of this.
Last True Love is the number 2. Stakes placed last time out on Regret. She was almost 80-1 at Monmouth that day. She finished 3rd behind Miss Locust Point. She got a big pace to run at, and Timeform US doesn't believe that situation's available to her on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. It feels like she's going to need some help to beat this field. Sort of been knocking around in stakes company in the Mid-Atlantic and having trouble winning those races. But I'll tell you what, she shows up and runs every time.
The 3 Philanthropic is 2 for 2 since being transferred from Steve Asmussen to Jason Service. Service found 2 real candy spots for her at Monmouth over the spring and summer. Let's watch the most recent race on September the 16th. She was up close to the pace. She takes over the lead. And she is a little bit late to make her final lead change. There it is. She's just better than these horses. Bowtown Cat, I know, is okay. But Philanthropic, moving the right way, confidence should be sky high and could be in closest attendance to Miss Locust Point early.
Yeah, she's got plenty of natural speed. You don't have to worry about that. It's interesting. It feels like she's going to have to improve again, Dan. But, going back to her career debut at Ellis, she actually ran really well that day for Asmussen, through some trouble, and was second best to a good horse. And I realized that things didn't go well for her after that. But she's come back a much improved horse as a 3-year-old. She's got speed. She's got upside. She has a very dangerous trainer. She has a lot of pedigree. There are things to like about this horse.
I think the 4 Pink Sands is a little dirtied up for Shug McGahee. She had no chance in the Ruffian against Breeders' Cup bound Come Dancing 4-back. Then she won a stakes race at Monmouth around 2 turns that propelled her in a couple of graded spots where she was simply overmatched. While she does have the stakes win around 2 turns, I actually like her at these shorter distances. I think Pink Sands, if you give her some pace, is going to come running. That's a big if.
I agree with all that stuff. I've always preferred her as a closing sprinter, and maybe that's a problem for her because maybe there just won't be a lot of pace in this race for her. But I think they're doing the right thing here, cutting her back into a race like this. She's a horse I'm definitely going to use at a price.
Majestic Reason finished 3rd behind the aforementioned Come Dancing last time out. She kind of just rode the rail there and picked up some pieces to finish 3rd. She never threatened for the win, but she picked up her career best buyer of 86. She's never been off the board from 9 lifetime starts. Nice outside attack post position with enough tactical speed to stay close. I don't think she would be the worst sort of middle price play in the world.
Yeah, that's how I looked at her too. I think she has some upside still. I feel like she's really improving for motion. And listen, you're right about the fact that she got, sort of the right trip last time and was never going to win that race. I just like the way that she kept gaining to the wire on a couple of horses who are legit graded stakes quality horses. This is a better fit for her in this race, and she is not a slow horse early. She might be able to get a good trip in this race.
Miss Locust Point expected to be the controlling speed, seeking her 10th lifetime victory. We'll go back to that regret stakes at Monmouth where she hooked up early with Bronx Beauty. She's on the outside. She is going to try hard, but Bronx Beauty is a much improved filly in the Mid-Atlantic area. Miss Locust Point's going to just simply be second best on this day. But again, look at those fractions. She had to go very, very fast. And if Timeform US is correct, she might go 5 lengths slower to the half.
Yeah, it's true. The trip could really make a difference in this race. And obviously she's got races that make her really tough in here. I can't say I'm a huge fan of hers, Dan. I'm happy to probably take a shot against her at a short price, but she can win this race.
Chalone, second in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint last year. Now, while she's a multiple stakes winner and multiple graded stakes placed this year, they're not running her in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. Perhaps Arnaud Delacour believes she's lost a little zip on the fastball. She's the horse to beat in this race because of the company lines and the class that she's shown, but I didn't love her race in the TCA as the favorite. I thought the trip worked out. She eased out with a chance, and she was very flat late.
Yeah, I agree with you. She was bad last time, so I'm not surprised they're not going to go back to the Breeders' Cup off of that race. And this race is still 7 furlongs. It feels like that's not her best distance. Clearly, she'll be tough in here with her good race, but man, she was bad last time.
Saguaro Road ran well in the Shine Again at Saratoga, going 7 furlongs behind Special Relativity, who is much improved. Here's her race in the Shine Again last time out. Sandwiched between those races was a start over a synthetic surface that you probably just want to draw a line through. Saguaro Road is going to split horses here, run third. This was Saguaro Road, though, kind of a horse that is okay. She runs for buyers in the low 80s. She really kind of needs to improve from a speed figure standpoint to win. And I think she's at her best when utilizing that style, when giving her some pace and trying to come with one run. And again, I'm not sure she's even the best closer in this field.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with any of it, Dan. She didn't run poorly at all in that race we just watched, trying to come from last. She still has to improve, it feels like, to beat this field. Maybe the race won't set up great for her. I don't know. I like her a little bit as a horse. I just don't know if I like her that much in this race.
Yeah, she may need a little bit of pace. We saw her swinging to the outside to try to get third last time out. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Pumpkin Pie Stakes. I want to go for a price with On Her Way. I just think that Chalone has seen better days. While Miss Locust Point is obviously very dangerous on the lead, I do wonder if maybe she's lost a bit. We've seen the buyers for her in decline. I like the work that Charlie Baker's done with On Her Way. She likes Belmont. She likes a wet track. She's going to be a price. She's my top selection.
Yeah, I mean, I think we look at it kind of the same way. I won't be surprised when the favorites 1-1-2 in here, but I didn't love either one of them. I wanted a better price. I like the way Majestic Reason is headed. I thought she could get a good trip in this race, and she'll be a price. I'm going to hope she takes one more step forward here. I went 5-3-7-4.
I went 1-5-3 in the Pumpkin Pie Stakes. One of 3 stakes races at Belmont Park. It's closing day Sunday. Go out with a bang with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $150, bet with $300, and have a lot of cash ready for the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships next weekend. Approximate post time for the Pumpkin Pie, 3:47 Eastern. Good luck.